Hey there, and welcome to another OpenMW release video. OpenMW is a free, open-source engine that supports running the Elder Scrolls III Morrowind. The game recently celebrated its 24th anniversary, and OpenMW lets you enjoy it on a modern, continuously updated engine with native support for macOS, Linux, and Windows. We, the OpenMW team, are proud to announce the release of version 0.51.0. Grab it from our download page on openmw.org, or head over to our GitLab repository to build OpenMW from source. Now let's have a look at the highlights of this release. The famous province mods under the umbrella of Tamriel Rebuilt and Project Tamriel add some interesting spells that look remarkably fresh. What does this have to do with OpenMW? Well, they were previously exclusive to the original engine, running the Morrowind Script Extender, due to using custom magic effects. It's now possible to add such effects, so many of those spells were recently recreated for OpenMW. How? A bit of deep lore first. Back in version 0.48, we introduced our custom Lua scripting API, OpenMW-Lua. Beyond just adding vast modding capabilities, it set the course for de-hardcoding, the process of migrating our re-implementations of Morrowind's mechanics and UI into Lua scripts. This allows script authors to modify or entirely replace them. OpenMW-Lua uses context to separate scripts into groups with different levels of engine access. To help with de-hardcoding, this release introduces the load context. Load scripts can modify the game data immediately after it's loaded, as if they were content files. This enables some clever tricks. Morrowind's file format doesn't let plugins add magic effects, but thanks to some behind-the-scenes magic, load scripts can. This means modders can create spells with scripted effects that are completely independent of built-in ones, and can use the full power of our Lua API. We're still expanding this context to cover more object types, but custom spells and enchantments aren't the only thing it can do. Consult our scripting documentation if you're interested. Speaking of enchantments, wow, it's a lot of stuff in my inventory. I should give my loyal pack rat something useful to carry. Maybe a few scrolls. Here we go. Hey! Hey, what are you... Oh. Well, I should have seen that coming. Previous releases restrict enchantment casting to characters who could equip items, but in Morrowind, and now OpenMW, everyone can cast enchantments. While it might seem dubious for a pack rat to eat your scrolls, hostile creatures can now be much more dangerous. Now time for the pretty things. Modders can now use state-of-the-art techniques to address two of the most infamous visual flaws of older games: aliasing and texture compression artifacts. Using a new Lua feature, it is now possible to implement temporal anti-aliasing, or TAA, as a post-processing shader. This is a highly effective method for smoothing out jagged edges, used in most modern games. This specific experimental implementation is from one of our team members and is planned for release as a mod. Let's zoom in to compare. The Lua feature responsible for this is the exposed projection offset. TAA works by slightly shifting the view and averaging frames. That shift is what this offset handles. While TAA can be controversial, careful implementation like this one can avoid common flaws like shadow blurring, and for many users it may be the most convenient alternative to hardware anti-aliasing, which has its own problems. As for compression, look closely at Jib's eyes. That red blocky splotch isn't by design. It's a limitation of older texture compression formats, where small blocks of pixels are forced to share a very limited color palette. At Morrowind's low texture resolution, these artifacts are very obvious. You don't want to avoid compression entirely though, as that would skyrocket VRAM usage. For modern games and mods, that's a deal breaker. So what's the fix? Enter BC7, a modern compression format used in titles like Starfield. It maintains a small memory footprint while looking visually identical to uncompressed textures, giving artists the best compromise between quality and performance. Thus, OpenMW now supports BC7 compressed DDS textures. Some platforms like macOS do not yet support BC7 due to driver limitations, though. Of course, artifact problems aren't automatically solved for existing, already compressed textures. For this demonstration, we used resaved, uncompressed textures provided with the original construction set. And speaking of construction sets, we have our own, the OpenMW-CS content editor. It hasn't been neglected. A major piece of the feature parity puzzle has been added to terrain editing, vertex painting. Let's try it. Alright, artistic urges fulfilled. More seriously, this makes OpenMW-CS more self-sufficient. Vertex painting is vital for making terrain look natural. Since OpenMW is eventually meant to run games beyond just Morrowind, this is a huge step forward. Finally, a minor quality of life update. OpenMW is known for its easy setup, and we've improved the auto-detection of existing Morrowind installations. Previously, it relied on registry keys created by the game in its original CD installer. The updated installation wizard can detect Steam and GOG Galaxy installations, even if you've never run the game. Convenient, isn't it? That's it for this video. For more details, check out the full announcement on our website, or join our community on the forums, Reddit, or Discord. If you find a bug or wish to request a feature, please visit our GitLab tracker. Also, we would appreciate your help. OpenMW is a volunteer-run project. Whether it's code, testing, or documentation, anything you can contribute matters. Thank you for your support, and thanks for watching.